And some people will say, oh, yeah, well, you're Christian, so you are, you're naive about this, or you accept that easily. Well, one day I'm reading the New York Times, and on the front page there's an article that one of the most famous atheists of the 20th century, Anthony Flew,
right,
who preached atheism for 50 years at major universities around the world.
He's the top philosophical atheist in the world.
That's right. And here's the article. He changed his mind. He's rejected his atheism. He now believes there's a creator. Well, I tend to be a skeptic, you know, so I tracked him down and I sat him in a chair and I said, Dr. Flew, are you telling me that for 50 years you proclaimed atheism and now you've changed your mind? Can you give me one good reason why you changed your mind? And he said, Lee, the integrated complexity of the biological world. What was he talking about? This DNA evidence. And Anthony Flew came to believe that his atheism was wrong, that there is a supernatural creator.
Yeah, because as Stephen Meyer said, where did that information come from?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just that it wasn't floating around. It's too complicated. It's too complex. We couldn't put it together just thinking about it.
In fact, Bill Gates said that the DNA, he said, it's like a computer code, only far more sophisticated than anything we've ever been able to develop.
Right.
Well, you know what? Computer codes have an intelligence behind them.
That's
and
right.
if you have something that's far more sophisticated than that, with more information, more complex, guess what? There is an intelligence behind that.
That's right.
And so you put these three things together, the origin of the universe, the fine-tuning of the universe, the information in DNA. I think that is a clear and a compelling case. I think it is powerful and persuasive that indeed there is a creator behind the universe.
Who does supernatural miracles.
Who does supernatural miracles. And I think of Romans 1, verse 20.
Yeah.
That says, for ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see His invisible qualities, His eternal power and divine nature, so they have no excuse for not knowing God. Creation is there for people to see. And John, we live in an era, just these last 5 or 6 decades, in which this cosmological evidence and the physics evidence and DNA evidence have come to the forefront. And so someone who became an atheist or a skeptic, 30, 50 years ago, needs to relook at the evidence, because they are behind the times, because science does not contradict the evidence for a creator, it supports the evidence of a creator.